The first part begins by showing the fierce battle between Kong-suan and Ming Wang. As part of the demon race whose existence is considered a threat to the safety of mankind, Kong-suan has always been the target of demon hunters who have ambitions to eradicate demons, one of which is Ming Wang, who thinks that all demons are evil. In fact, Kong-suan never committed a crime against humanity. Even he fell in love with a female human until they were finally married and had a son named Hongjun. Kong-suan tried to convince Ming Wang that he would never harm a human while in the human world. However, Ming Wang didn't seem to care about that and continued to launch attacks on him. Knowing that Kong-suan's wife and his son were not far from the location of their fight, Ming Wang took advantage of this to break his defense by trying to attack the two of them. On the other hand, Kong-suan, who did not want his wife and his son to be hurt, then rushed to withstand the fatal attack from Ming Wang to protect his beloved family. Although, in the end, he had to lose his life right in front of his wife and his son. On the other hand, Kong-suan's wife, who saw her husband killed right in front of her eyes, looked so shocked and devastated, and Hongjun did not think that he would lose his father forever that day. 12 years later, a mysterious man approached a large tree by the lake. He drew a circle on the tree trunk and tapped it several times until a colorful light appeared from the tree. After that, he took out a letter and placed it on the lake's surface. Shortly after he left, a flock of birds took the letter and flew towards a magnificent palace called Yaojin, which was in the sky. The letter finally reached the hands of a man named Qingxiang, one of the 3 sages of Yaojin Palace. On the other side of the palace, Hongjun is seen, who is currently a teenager. After the incident that killed his father 12 years ago, he was taken to Yaojin Palace for his safety because it would be very dangerous if a descendant of a demon like Hongjun remained in the human world. Hongjun was busy making magic potions to cure his adoptive father, Zhang Ming. He was also one of the 3 sages of Yaojin Palace, seriously injured 100 years ago after his battle against a demon dragon, the Black Jiao. After the chaos was resolved and Zhang Ming was no longer spitting fire, Qingxiang went to him and showed him the letter that had just been sent to him. Qingxiang said that the letter came from the Exorcism Department in Chang'an City, located in the human world. The letter stated that the Exorcism Department asked young talents from Yaojin Palace to join their department, where the Exorcism Department is tasked with defeating demons that are considered to threaten the safety of mankind on Earth. Qingxiang suggested that they send Hongjun, but Zhang Ming disagreed with Qingxiang because, according to him, Hongjun still had a lot to learn and could not fight against the evil demon race whose ambition was to destroy humanity. On top of that, Zhang Ming was apparently still angry and held a grudge against humanity after Kong-suan was killed. Zhang Ming and Qingxiang turned out to be Kong-suan's brothers and Hongjun's uncle, indicating that he was once one of the 3 sages of Yaojin Palace. Qingxiang tries to convince his brother to allow Hongjun to descend into the human world and help them deal with the demons. Moreover, Hongjun also has the divine blood inherited from his late father, so he can master the 5 elements of magic at once. Qingxiang firmly believes that Hongjun has a chance to defeat their mortal enemy, the Black Jiao. However, Zhang Ming insisted on forbidding Hongjun to come to Earth and help humans. In fact, he said that he didn't care at all if the Black Jiao, who was expected to rise in the next 4 years, wiped out all of humanity on Earth. Their conversation was discovered by Hongjun, who was very surprised to learn about the reality behind his father's death. Hongjun was devastated after learning that he had human blood because all along, he had assumed that he was part of the demon tribes. Qingxiang then encouraged him by saying he is very special because he has human blood and demon blood. Not only that, but Hongjun also has the blood of a god through his father, who is an incarnation of a god. Qingxiang reveals that Kong-suan has the privilege of having a god's blood, which has helped him and Zhang Ming establish peace between the demon world and the human world. Since Hongjun already knew everything, and Qingxiang thought that Hongjun was mature enough to determine his own path, Qingxiang gave him the freedom to choose whether to come down to Earth and protect humanity from the evil demons or stay in Yaojin Palace with them. Sometime later, Hongjun ventured to meet Zhang Ming, accompanied by Qingxiang, who stated that he would stay at Yaojin Palace because that palace was his home. In fact, both Zhang Ming and Qingxiang knew that Hongjun didn't really want that. Because of that, Qingxiang told him 3 things that he should do in the human world. First, Hongjun must uncover the mastermind behind Kong-suan's murder and find the person who killed his father. Second, he must join the Exorcism Department in Chang'an City, tasked with exorcising evil demons and protecting humanity. Third, he had to return Chen Shi's heart light to his chosen offspring, which would automatically enter his body. Qingxiang suggested that Hongjun befriend Chen Shi's descendant to make it easier for him to get information about the murder of Kong-suan 12 years ago. Because fighting against evil demons is not an easy matter, Qingxiang also gives an heirloom of peacock feathers from Kong-suan that can protect him. And during his mission in the human world, Hongjun will be accompanied by a magical creature, his servant, and his best friend, Zilong. Long story short, Hongjun and Zilong finally arrived at a seemingly uninhabited village because Hongjun didn't meet a single person there. Shortly after, he noticed something strange in that place because the strong winds and heavy rain pouring down the place seemed abnormal. Not long after, Hongjun was surprised by the appearance of a demon dragon that suddenly attacked him. A fierce battle ensued between them until, finally, the dragon became desperate and rushed to escape to the center of Chang'an City. Not wanting to let the dragon attack humans, Hongjun immediately chased the dragon to the residential area. At the same time, the guards seemed overwhelmed by the sudden attack of the demon dragon. The battle against the demon dragon became even more heated, especially after the guards intervened to deal with the monster. However, when the demon dragon disappeared without a trace, the Chang'an City Guard troops attacked Hongjun, who was considered an intruder. Fortunately, Kong Suan's heirloom peacock feathers managed to protect Hongjun from the guards' attacks and miraculously reversed the attack on them. Actually, Hongjun didn't want to fight against humans, but since they were attacking him, he had no choice but to defend himself. But then, a man appeared who directly drew his greatsword at Hongjun. Because the man's movements were so fast, he could barely dodge the attack, and the tip of his sword hit the heart light, shattering the lantern and causing a huge explosion. Therefore, Hongjun fainted for a while the man who suddenly attacked him was still lying unconscious. Soon afterward, Hongjun panicked and was confused when the heart light entrusted to him by Qing Xiong disappeared somewhere. He rushed over to the mysterious man and tried to search for him to find the heart light. At the same time, the guards began to approach where he was, so Hongjun decided to run away from there with the mysterious man. Because he didn't know where to hide, he chose a house that he felt was quite safe and had a good view. He apparently sneaked into a high-class brothel called Beauty House, where he secretly entered a room and began searching for the mysterious man's belongings. Hongjun finally found a badge showing the man's identity, who turned out to be an Imperial Army captain named Li Jinglong. According to him, the identification didn't mean anything, so Hongjun threw it away. Afterward, he continued searching for Jinglong but couldn't find what he was looking for until finally morning came, and he heard the soldiers who had entered the beauty house to find his whereabouts. Not long after, Jinglong finally woke up, surprised to realize he was in the beauty house, while Hongjun decided to run away from there. Because his reputation and good name as an Imperial Army captain would be tarnished if caught visiting the beauty house, Jinglong slipped away from the place. Ultimately, he was still caught and became the subject of everyone's gossip, especially after the soldiers found his ID in one of the rooms in the brothel. Knowing that Jinglong had neglected his duties as Imperial Army captain and reasoned that he was hunting for a demon roaming Chang'an City, made his cousin, Feng Changqi, very angry because he had tarnished the family's reputation. On the other hand, the emperor was discussing the incident involving Jinglong with several of his higher-ups, who were interested in making him the head of the exorcism department, which had stopped long after the death of the founder, Lord D. The emperor decided to reassign the exorcism department to find out if there really was a demon roaming in Chang'an City, or if Jinglong was hallucinating about having met a demon, because so far, there had never been a commotion or news of a demon's appearance, and Chang'an City is in a safe and peaceful situation. Meanwhile, Hongjun, who was looking for the address of the exorcism department, accidentally met a man named Mo Rigen, who apparently had the same goal as Hongjun. Shortly afterward, he met two other men named Artai and Qiu Yongsi, who also received a mysterious letter asking representatives of exorcists to join the exorcism department in Chang'an City. But once there, they found no one and found the place abandoned and poorly maintained. On the other hand, Jinglong and his cousin headed to the exorcism department to reoperate the department, forming an exorcist team. Arriving there, Jinglong, still irritated with Hongjun because his pride had been crushed after being involved in an unpleasant incident with him, immediately attacked Hongjun when he finally reunited with him. After all the misunderstandings were cleared up, Hongjun confirmed that he was the one who had brought Jinglong to the beauty house because he had fainted. Hearing that, Feng Changqi finally believed Jinglong's words and left all the exorcism department affairs to him. Despite acting as the leader of the exorcism department, Jinglong was actually the weakest among them. Even he could be easily taken down with a trivial attack from the exorcist. Despite that, Hongjun and the others still respect him, who has a strong determination to eradicate the evil demons that threaten the safety of the residents of Chang'an City. Since fighting with demons would cause chaos that could make the civilians panic and fear, Jinglong thought they should find something that could erase people's memories of the terrible events they experienced. Therefore, their first mission is to find the soulless flower, which is said to erase the memories of people who inhaled the pollen from the flower. The next day, Jinglong drove Hongjun to the house of Chen Shi, who had died many years ago, and the only surviving descendant of Chen Shi was a baby boy who was not even a year old. Hongjun was very surprised when he learned this fact. Not only did the heart light disappear somewhere, but now Hongjun must be faced with the fact that the only surviving descendant of Chen Shi is a baby, which of course cannot help him uncover the truth about his father's death. On the way home, Jinglong, who seemed to admire the figure of Chen Shi, who was once a famous poet, told Hongjun about the poet's past, and they concluded that Chen Shi and Lord Di had met demons. Jinglong was even willing to sell his family's inheritance to buy a sword inherited from Lord Di, which disappeared shortly after his death, where it was believed to be able to slay demons that attack humans. Realizing that the heart light is an object that is very important to Hongjun, Jinglong asked him to check whether the heart light was in his body because until now, he had not found it anywhere. Then, Hongjun obeyed Jinglong's request and was overjoyed to find out that the heart light was indeed inside Jinglong's body, although he did not know how it could be inside him, who was not a descendant of Chen Shi. Hongjun thought the heart light would be safer inside Jinglong's body and let it be. Even though it has tremendous magical power, the heart light can't give any power to him, who is an ordinary human. Even Jinglong couldn't use the magic power contained in Lord Di's sword, so he had to hone his skills in swordsmanship. At the same time, Artai and the others managed to get the pollen from the soulless flower and then handed it over to Jinglong. After that, the Exorcist Department received a mission from the Supreme Court to capture the pet cat of a nobleman who was quite influential in Chang'an City. Actually, Jinglong had been reluctant to accept the mission because he thought the Supreme Court had despised the exorcists, who were supposed to be in charge of exterminating demons. However, in the end, Jinglong decided to continue the mission because it seemed that the cat had not just disappeared but was hiding from something terrible. The next day, Jinglong and Hongjun embark on a quest to find the cat and get a clue that leads to the beauty house. They managed to catch the cat, but they were forced to hide under the bed in one of the rooms in the beauty house. How surprised they were when they found a human body that had dried up, hidden under the bed. Judging from the body's condition, Jinglong also confirmed that it was the work of an evil demon. After returning to the base, he immediately discussed the findings with the other exorcists, and they concluded that there was a demon hiding in the beauty house and secretly preying on humans. Jinglong and his comrades also planned to conduct an investigation at the beauty house. However, they will get into trouble if the demon turns out to be able to disguise itself as a human, so they devise a plan to reveal the devil's identity. The plan went quite well. However, Jinglong and his comrades did not expect that there was not only one demon in the beauty house but 3 female demons. One of Rigen's arrows managed to kill a demon who turned out to be the fox demon, while the other 2 escaped. While Jinglong and the exorcists split up to chase down the other 2 demons, Zilong spreads the soulless pollen to quell the chaos caused by the demon's appearance by erasing everyone's memories of the incident. Jinglong, Hongjun, and Rigen engage in a fierce battle with the fox demon who can transform into a giant fox, ravaging the city and massacring the soldiers. When they were pressed by the fox demon and were almost killed, Rigen had no choice but to turn into a giant wolf to balance the fight. In the end, the fox demon is defeated, but she warns Jinglong about Chang'an City, which will soon be overrun by the demons. After the battle is done, Jinglong and the others realize that they have run out of the soulless pollen, and because of that, he could not erase the memories of the soldiers and citizens who witnessed the battle. This is the end of the first part of this donghua. You can watch the second part in the next video.